We're going to talk a little bit about buying a rifle, a long gun, mainly a rifle, center fire or rim fire. And the first thing you need to think about if you're going to buy a long gun is, what do I want to do with it? What is my need, my desire at the present time? If you just want to start shooting and have something kind of inexpensive to shoot with, I recommend you buy a .22 rifle. Not expensive to shoot. You can get a lot of shooting for a little money, and you can learn all the good habits that'll take you into being able to shoot a center fire. We've got a little selection of .22 rifles over here. One of the perennial favorites, and as we pick it up, we're going to open it, keep it safe. This is called a Ruger 1022. It's a semi-automatic, this case stainless steel, .22 long rifle. Great little gun. They've been making them for many, many, many years. I was a little kid when they started making them. That's a long time ago. They're a great little gun. You can usually pick up a used one for, $175 in pretty good shape, up to a little over $200 for a new one, depending on what it has. A great little gun and a semi-auto. Another thing that's a really nice, popular little gun is the lever action. This particular one is a Winchester .22 lever action, and we're going to open it up, make sure it's safe. It works just like it looks like it should work. Just like that, aim it, pull the trigger, it fires. They're a great little gun. They're getting a little bit more expensive because Winchester's no longer in business, but the good thing is you can buy a Henry. This is a really nice looking little Henry Golden Boy. It's a .22 long rifle, got an octagonal barrel, super looking little gun, very smooth action, just like a Winchester. They also make it with a blued, cheaper, great little gun. They make bolt actions as well. They make pump actions. Right now, the only bolt action we've got is this little guy here. This little guy is an old Browning. It's called a T-bolt. Bolt action on here. Shoot it. Great little guns. You can buy some bolt action semis for well under $200 brand new. Good gun to start with. If you decide you'd like to go Old West style with the lever actions, Marlin makes some great lever action guns. They work just like the other ones. 30-30 caliber, a few others. 444 Marlin if you're after big game. That's a little shy of a half-inch diameter bullet. Pretty big bullet. You can get them in 45 Colt. That's 0.45 inches across the diameter. That's a big old heavy bullet going down there. Marlins are a good gun. If you're going to go after varmints such as coyotes, woodchucks, those little critters, you're going to need something smaller bullet and a whole lot faster. Here's some varmint guns. Just to go quickly through them, this one here doesn't have a scope on it yet, but if you're going after varmints, you'll need a scope. This is a .223 caliber. That's basically the same caliber as used by our military in the AR-15s, M16s. This is a very fast-moving bullet, very small bullet, .22 caliber in diameter, but a whole lot more powerful than those rimfire .22s we were showing you. This is one possibility. Here's another, if you're real sure. Here's a great one. This is a Ruger #1, single shot, with a nice varmint scope on it. Settle down there and shoot varmints all day with this guy. Again, very, very fast. We've got a .22 250, another little gun. That's .22 caliber also, even a little faster, a little lighter bullet. Just considered a strict varmint gun. I would not try and hunt deer with these guys just because the bullet's so small and so fast. It just doesn't have the knockdown power. If you're looking for something you want to hunt deer, .243 caliber. It's a little bit larger diameter bullet. They make heavier bullets for it. Here's again, a Ruger .243. Looks exactly the same, just shoots a larger caliber bullet. Got a good scope on it. Good for deer. Also good for coyotes. Pretty fast cartridge. If you're going to go combination deer, elk, things of that nature, mule deer, bigger critters, 270. This is a Savage 270. It's actually a left-handed gun. As you might notice, the bolt's over here. This is, again, larger diameter bullet. They make heavier weights. It'll knock down larger game. 270 is great for that. That's a Savage. Here's an old Browning semi-auto 270. Same caliber. It's a semi-auto. Got a scope on it. Works good for any of those creatures. Here's a nice older Remington Custom Shop in 270. Get up from that, you can have 308, 30-06, 7 mag, 300 Winchester mag, 338, bigger, all the way up to 500 half-inch bullets. This guy here, much as it might look like a huge gun, is one of those Varmint 22 250s. This particular gun was custom made for a dyed-in-the-wool target shooter. He custom made it, had the action honed, tuned, put a new trigger in it so it's light as a feather, about 1.5 pound trigger pull on it, which is just barely touching it. Got a fluted custom barrel on this. If you know what you're doing and you practice like we talked about, talking about practice and shooting, you can probably shoot a 1-inch group at 250 yards with this all day long. You can shoot varmints. Very heavy. This gun probably weighs, because it's a target gun, you can see it's very thick, very heavy. Weighs about 8 pounds. So it's not something you'd want to hike around the woods with, hunting for critters to shoot. But for setting up on a prairie dog town, or setting up in a stand in a blind, waiting for coyotes, calling them in, you won't mess with this. This is a Winchester, and it's kind of a unique item. It's an old style Winchester falling block, but it's made in a modern 300 Winchester short magnum caliber. Normally you'd expect to see this style of gun in a 45-70, 45-90, some of the old time calibers, because it's an old time style Winchester. They've made this one in a brand new 300 Winchester short magnum caliber. Heck of a deer gun, and you could go out after buffalo with this if you wanted to and be expected to do well. Beautiful old gun. Winchester, as I said, not in business anymore, so these are going up in value. They're harder to find. They're a great gun, and again, 30 caliber. There's a lot of guns that are 30 caliber. They'll work good for hunting. Most anything on this continent, unless you get up north in Alaska and you're after brown bear. Then you need something bigger, in my own humble opinion. Something with a 4 in front of the caliber.